This public meeting is now called to order. Any public inquiries?
None.
Any approval of any minutes?
We will be approving all of them, so I need a motion for each one of them, please.
Okay, not now or late?
Now,
Okay, I need a motion then for January 11th,
2023.
3.
I thought that was a misprint. but
It
I
is
guess
not.
You want to do all of them at once?
Sure?
All
Why
right,
not?
January 25th, 2023, September 25th, 2024, October 9th, 2024, November 13th, 2024, December 18th, 2024. Need a motion to
Motion
accept the
made.
minutes?
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Now we're up to date.
35 North Main Street,
We'll be continuing to January 22nd.
Lot 5, Harrington Road.
Oh, you have to motion.
Yes, just
Oh,
a
I'm
motion to
sorry, I
continue.
need a motion to continue the hearing.
Motion to continue the hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
January 22nd?
Lot
Yes.
5, Harrington Road.
This has been continued to February 26th already, so.
I need a motion to continue.
No, we already continued it, so we can just.
Previously?
Previously, we continued to February 26th.
Okay.
So we can just skip it.
Cranberry Meadow Lake.
We'll be continued to January 22nd.
I need a motion to continue the hearing.
Motion to continue the hearing.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. 89 Cranberry Meadow Shore Road.
This, we're here. Hi, Chris. Good. So the commission is aware, this is an after-the-fact notice of intent. We issue them an emergency order when their well went dry. So once the work was completed, they did file for the application, so Chris will present it to you.
Great. Good evening, Chris McClure, McClure Engineering. I'm here on behalf of Craig Walker. Yeah, he had a shallow well on 89 Cranberry Meadow Shore Drive. It ran dry, so he had to go through the steps to get it replaced. Charlton Well, we worked with Jim Philbrook and Rose, and they were helpful getting us through the process. Charlton Well went in and put up the erosion controls and went in and had to bring a track rig in there because they couldn't. It drops off pretty in a tight lot, so they had to bring in a specialized track rig to put his well in. And well, Craig, $27,000 later, he's where he needs to be. So
Wow.
he's got water. Everybody needs water, right? Yeah. So we filed a DP, file number of DP had some comments. Obviously, that floodplain, the high floodplain elevation isn't mapped on Cranberry Meadow Shore Pond. So we went back to the site, GPS the dam, the high water mark at the dam, transposed it down to Craig's place, and we proved that we're outside of the BLSF. So the well is adjacent to where the other one was, so everything's squared away.
I thought you would be.
Yeah.
Have any questions on this?
No?
Anybody on the board have any questions? Anybody in the audience have any questions? If not, I need a motion to close the hearing.
Just close the hearing, and we will be issuing tonight, so
I
just
couldn't-
closing the public hearing.
Yes, that's what I said, I thought.
Yes, I'm just letting you know that we will not be issuing the permit tonight.
Okay.
We'll issue it next, for the next meeting.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? All opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Rose, there was little to no disturbance on the site. We'll have to request the COC to close that up, I guess, or,
I know.
Yeah.
Filing, it's just like really, pretty much, protocol, because the
Right.
work was already done, he already wants a
Yeah.
certificate of compliance. So here's how I would like to proceed. Not have the order conditions recorded,
oh, great.
so that way you don't have to file for a certificate of compliance.
That'd be great.
The work has already been done. I just
Yeah.
do want to go for a site inspection
Sure.
to make sure everything's nice.
Yeah.
If the erosion control should be removed.
Okay,
And then just let me know, probably stop by next week sometime.
okay,
And then we end it there.
perfect.
I won't make him go and record at the registry of deeds to file for certificate of compliance, to come back and record certificate of compliance. So it's
Yeah.
just
Seems
for
a lot,
work
yeah.
that has been already done.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
35 Leland Drive,
Is anyone here?
So,
Yeah, Chris.
good evening. Am I ready?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Chris McClure, McClure Engineering, and I'm here on behalf of the Maduskis for a septic system repair, replacement at 35 Leland Drive. We did get a, oh.
Yeah, do you have the plan? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
for some reason I don't have the folder in my box, so
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
So, again, it's on you're coming into off of Leland Drive on the left-hand side, the right side. All of the lots drop off pretty steeply there. They have no, septic tank or the, leaching pit. It was in failure. The father passed away recently, the son, his two sons, and they're, trying to, coming in after a while and saying, hey, they'd like to just do some, obviously this was one of their items that they wanted to take care of. So, we were in there to do a soil test, we met with Tom, the soils are, adequate for us to put a system in. Obviously, the system that we are going to design here is, gonna provide for much better environmental protection, i.e., cleaning of the effluent coming out of there, and, due to the orientation of the site, we kind of had to run the field as was shown. The farthest part of the field from the resource area is 27 feet. We have to meet these setbacks for the wells, so basically very limited as to where the system could go. We're using the Elgin system to reduce the size and footprint, but this is what we're up against at this site. But again, the soils were good enough for us to get a system in there. They were kicking around the fact we were on a tight tank, but there wasn't a need for it based upon our evaluation, so unfortunately.
Did,
There was a comment, sorry, don't
right,
worry.
any questions from the state?
There was a comment from the state,
There
I'm trying
was,
to find it, yeah.
There was, they know the site's limited, they do want to, we'll call it construction sequencing. They want to ensure that when they go in there to do this work, they're going in there with the least amount of impact. So I don't have a construction sequence here, I could definitely develop it, send it along, just so that someone just doesn't go in and rip the whole area out, so, go in and do, and I think that could be sequenced as far as getting the erosion controls in, seeing what they're gonna do to, do the repairs and.
And have it marked as the limit of work, so we know that nothing else goes
Sure.
beyond that point.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
You have
So,
any,
yeah.
do you have any more questions at all?
I'm just reading the comments, and for some reason I don't have the folder
Oh,
here.
yeah.
I have it, yeah, I have the comments here. Is it going on the same location as the other one, Chris?
It is, on the same side of the,
Okay.
same side, so. Mass DP recommends that the applicant identify the location to which the existing shed will be moved, because he's moving the shed. So we'll just ensure that that does not go any closer to the resource area.
Okay.
And that's what this.
Also, the shed's being permanently moved, it's not temporary?
It's gonna be, I don't know, well, I guess he could probably put it over the field, yeah, there's no reason why he couldn't put it over the field, as long as he's not driving anything crazy around, so we'll just
Yeah.
have him put it right back over the field, so. And if it will not be placed in kind following septic construction, noting that alternative locations on the site are limited, the applicant should clearly demonstrate that the proposed system does not represent a substantial enlargement over the existing system in order to receive a waiver of the 50-foot septic setback requirement found at 310 CMR 10.03. We'll deal with that with the Board of Health, but we've already talked to Tom relative to that. It's the smallest system we can get in there based on 3-bedroom. We're using the Elgin, which is a, newer technology to get, that's just to reduce the footprint of 40%. And again, it's much better situation than the cesspool. And based on
Just out of
the-
curiosity, what was the perk rate there?
Oh,
Should be with it.
I don't know why it's not down there, I think it's, you know what, this one we might have sent, I don't know, it's just not on there, Mitch, so, but this will be on the septic, but I can let you know. And I think we had to ship this one off to Yankee too, just because we didn't want anyone saying, hey, the system isn't, you just picked up easy spots, so. Based upon the tight lot configuration and proximity to resource areas, Mass DEP recommends that the applicant identify the proposed route of machine access and extend sedimentation barriers between any anticipated earth disturbance and down gradient resource areas. So literally, he's got one spot to bring that through, it's right down the driveway. And we'll just make sure that we line that place with erosion control and sedimentation records. Keep everything out of the lake. And there's a lot of washout down in that lake, so be sure that we're doing it
Yeah.
right.
Rose, you have any questions?
I don't.
Anybody in the board have any questions? Anybody in the audience have any questions? If not, we're closing the hearing. I need a
Closing
motion
the
to close the hearing with an order of conditions.
Make the motion, to close the hearing with a order of conditions.
I'm not issuing though, just closing the public hearing.
Okay, close
Yeah.
the public hearing. Second it.
And just, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That might be a record. Huh?
Not over yet.
So, we're gonna have to add something on the, old business that was related to the motion the commission made, during the last public hearing for 173 Sunset Drive, regarding, a complaint related to, why did I just get my mind?
Elevations?
Elevation, thank you. If you don't mind, just
My
say
name's
your
Ray
name.
Bonneville.
Thank you, Ray.
I can't be, he can't be, I got a trespass on him, and I got a harassment order. The judge ordered, he can't be here, and I can't be in the same room. He can't be here while I'm here. 4 yards. So it doesn't matter, he cannot be here while I'm here, and I don't wanna be here while he's here. So, we're gonna have to have him here, and then I can come back on another date.
So I can't do anything with that if you guys have a.
But it is a
It's, you
harassment
can be in
order.
the same room, and we were given permission to still deal with the town.
Only if I'm not here.
No.
That's what she said. It's true.
Oh, should we postpone this until they get straightened out?
If you wanna address with the, I can't get involved with that, so
I
call
understand.
cops, yeah.
I just don't want any trouble. If you're looking for, my statement, I can make one right now. Make it clear and easy. I have a permit, I have a plan, the plan's not
All
up.
we need is explain what's going on, correct?
That's it. It's
The
just a
commission
discussion.
made a motion during the last meeting to request information related to the elevation on his site, to determine whether or not the elevation, the current elevation is part of the approved plan. So that's why he's here.
I have a permit
Here's the picture.
from the conservation, from the building department, to, do my house. The house is there. The plan was back in 2017. So now, I'm doing a wall
I don't know if the elevation
in
is.
front of the water,
Not an engineer,
and,
because
I got all the fill put in a pile. It's not done, guys. I don't even know why I'm here. Wait till it's done, then complain. I moved the pile from the front, from the back, up to the side. Right now, guys, I'm in a hell of a frickin' position right now, because you stopped me in the wrong time. Right now is not the time to stop me. You gotta give me an emergency okay to stop, because, the bank, my yard goes like this. All the way
Can you
down to
pass the
water.
picture around?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It ain't
there.
gonna be a problem now, but when the water, when everything thaws out, we're gonna have more silt in that lake than we're gonna wanna. I'm telling you guys, I bought a big roll of filtration to stop it, but I shouldn't even have been stopped, correct me if I'm wrong here. Cause I got a plan, I'm working, I'm not doing anything wrong to anybody. It's only temporary right now, everything is all temporary. I'm moving dirt around just to get the wall in. Once I get the wall in, the whole property is all done. But as far as having the right permits, the plan, I'm a contractor, I'm a licensed contractor. I'm working with Chris. Every day, Chris is over there because my neighbor's complaining. every day, I pay him. That's why I said to him today, where's my plan? I'm trying to accommodate everybody. But the problem is that while I'm being stopped, it's a problem. It's gonna be a major problem. And I just want to address it so that when it does happen, I don't like to say I told people, but it's gonna be a problem.
Have we put a cease and desist on him or stop
Yes.
work order?
No, I never issued anything. The email.
I haven't seen any.
No, the email was the commission voted is until we confirm that the elevation on his site, it is according to the approved plan, for him to just stop
Stop.
that area, but not to stop construction.
Oh, no, the rest of it's all done.
Right.
I'm only working.
No, you still have
so
to
I'm only
work on your
working
wall.
one area.
Which you can.
Yep.
I never
okay.
issued you a cease
Well,
and
the wall
desist.
is what was causing for me to be here.
No, this is
Because
not,
that's where the dirt was coming from.
no, so they're just.
And that was what was raising I have a pile right now, it's big. And I put that there personal, on purpose, to stop the water from going into the lake. Because if I would've done this all at once,
Is the elevation, when you get done, gonna be what's on this plan?
exactly on that plan, and Chris, I wanted Chris to be here to tell you.
Again, I'm not an engineer, I cannot verify that, so that's
Too
why.
bad he left. Yeah.
The next time he's here, talk to him, he's doing a plan.
It's not how it works,
Oh,
yeah.
well, like I said, I'm doing everything. I have the equipment to do it, I have the knowledge to do it,
But
I have
we
the
have
plan,
resolved that
the
already.
permit, everything is all set, folks. I need nothing.
But here's the thing. It's kinda hard to verify
You can't by that.
you can't by that, but when he's done, it has to be verified.
Right.
So if we stop him, he can't get it done.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, what we had asked for was the elevations now,
And he's up
Right.
against the.
Okay. and we don't have that.
No.
What do you think?
So what the commission, I know you were not here last meeting, Rich, so what the commission voted was, instead of letting him, if there is a change of elevation that was not approved on the plan, why allow him to continue until to the end? So why not verify now before he's done with the entire site? And then what? If there is stormwater, issues going on, what's gonna happen is gonna probably be more detrimental for him to change that. So the commission voted to verify the elevation now. If it deviates from the approved plan, to address the situation now before waiting, instead of waiting for him to finish. But you can discuss with the commission, was their decision.
So these
The issue is
elevations
to-
here highlighted are what he has to end up with.
Yeah,
Is it highlighted?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
highlighted, yeah.
Yep, and it's a solid line.
And we don't sign off until that's proven to us, correct?
Exactly.
So, as I mentioned in the last meeting, usually when the project is completed, they request for a certificate of compliance, and that's where we request for an as-built, correct?
Yeah.
That's the procedure. And then the as-bilt's gonna say the plan, the project was completed per plan, and here's the deviations, the alteration changed, I don't know, a feet, 2 feet, few inches. That's, has always been the process that this commission has worked with, correct?
So he has to have it done to get an as-built.
An as-built, yes.
Right.
Correct. But however, we have never, at least since I have been here, a complaint related to elevation during the process. So that's why I brought it in front of the commission. How would you like to proceed? And that's how the commission voted, to verify the elevation now before you get to the end of it. And then, yes, there is a deviation of 2 feet, 3 feet, and then what? We're gonna request him to
Folks,
remove all the dirt.
It's already.
You wanna put it that he,
It's already
have his
too high.
engineer
It is
verify
not,
the,
you, right, that's what you voted last time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we don't have that information.
but we don't have that information. I think what the commission requested last time is have the engineer just certify that as of right now, the elevation on his site is according to the plan, and then he can proceed. But if he, right now, according to the pictures, if the engineer says, well, he's 2 feet higher, It's 4 feet high.
I just don't understand
But
how
it's
the
supposed to
elevation.
be like that,
right?
folks. It's supposed to be, it's not, we don't have that elevation right now. Some
you can't-
spots
you
are
can't have it,
lower,
it's not
Right.
No, but-
some are higher. Right now, I have a pile this high. Of course, he's gonna say, Ray, it's too low here, Ray, it's high here. Wait till it's all done. The as-built is the procedure, folks. This is the
I don't know what the
procedure.
concern is.
The reason why she's never heard of anything like this is because I don't ever know, I don't even think anyone's ever gone through something like this. You gotta wait till the plan is,
You can't get elevations.
till the other, till the
Till
as-built,
done.
Yeah, I agree. We're gonna have to wait till the elevations are done, till the job is done.
till the job
It
is
was
all
our
done.
motion.
Huh?
You
Okay,
made-
I would amend that motion to let him
Yeah, I
get the
think
job
we
done,
have-
and then we'll
we have the
have the
abutters.
elevations approved.
All right.
Well,
I need
People
to-
still want to talk.
Huh?
They're requesting the floor.
I
to speak.
understand, but
Yeah.
they want it to be separated, so if that's,
But we can't make a motion till we hear
Okay,
all the
well, let's
parties.
listen to 'em.
Yeah.
all right, okay,
Yeah.
all right, yeah.
I have to go.
Okay.
All right?
Or
Yeah.
maybe you can wait outside until they speak to see if this will be continuing, the
Well,
conversation
you
will
said I
continue.
can still continue, right? All you have to do is put it in writing, what needs to be done.
Well, I'll let you know what the,
Ella, you can email me.
I will let, you wanna me to email the decision for tonight and you wanna leave? Okay,
All right?
thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you for your
Have a
time.
great night.
Yep.
I mean, you can't put the cart before the horse.
Well, that was
Let's see what they got to say.
not the whole issue.
Well, if I remember correctly, they were complaining about water because of the higher elevations right now.
Which that has been
Stuff
solved.
was going
That
into the-
Well, has been agreed
potentially
upon.
being-
Right, but the last meeting you had,
Does is complain.
you just cut the pipe out.
Yeah.
There was debate about
Where do they live?
water
Next door.
last week.
Yeah, but that's not what the complaint was. Complaint was, did you see the picture, how much higher?
It was both.
Yeah, it
because
was
you're
both.
saying the water is turning out,
Yes.
hits this big pile,
Yeah,
comes back.
yeah.
First off, it's not just one pile, and it's been up for 2 years up higher, and it's causing a drain of water coming down right into our dog pen at this point.
Some background information, take one, pass it around, one of each, so it'll be easier to explain. I have a couple of questions before we start. Who owns the Lake Glen Echo?
Clarify what you mean by that.
The body of land underneath
The
the
town
water?
owns, the town owns the land underneath the lake,
And the abutters own up to the edge of the land per their deed?
whatever's surveyed on it.
Some of
Right.
these go under the water.
Yeah.
Some deeds.
Okay, but
deeds go
when they
under the-
don't go underwater and the water is drawn down, the land that is exposed is town property, correct? Because the town owns the land under the lake.
Unless it says on the deed
Right,
that.
exactly.
So you can't, so town people can walk on the bed of the lake and it's not trespassing, correct?
Town people,
Anybody that's around walking your dog or whatever around the lake where the lake's drawn down, we see it all the time, people walk
As
around
long
the
as you're
lake.
not standing on anybody's lot. The town land is town land and you have the
I
right to
don't think
walk on it.
that's us to tell
Right,
people
that's
the
not for them
answer.
to decide.
Right, so it's not trespassing. Mr. Bonneville seems to think he owns the lake bed out in front of his property where I took all these pictures from, beyond the silt fence.
Right, so let's
So he
move.
needs clarification on that. So, there's a lot of problems on the Bonneville plan.
Okay, Chamber,
So
what
this
are
is-
we discussing here?
This is getting to the elevations, the grades. This is
So,
what we're here for tonight,
okay,
okay? So, 4/30/18, 5 months after he brought the property, he came and had this plan made, and we all sat in the other room over there, and we went through this. And I explained then, the only concerns I have are where it's all filled in front of the lake, because it was all St. Germain's property at that point that filled in the lake. And you guys have it between DEP, and it got turned over to the state, and there's the paper from the newspaper article over it. So this plan showing that he's extended the land 17 feet on the property, on my 160-foot sideline. And over this side, where it's 130 feet, if you look on his deed, it says 113, but that's a typo probably. He's added 14 feet into the lake. Did you show them all the pictures that I emailed you?
I just passed some around. But
Some
what
or
does it
all
have,
of them?
what does it
Because
have
if you
to?
look at the property over here between lot 41 and 40, Bonneville's, you'll see that he's got a concrete wall going out into the bed of the lake. So he's filling in the lake. Okay? So that's the first problem. On the first page of his plan, it shows the St. Germain property. And I'll show you pictures of how the property existed when he bought it and what St. Germain had it at. You can see the elevation grades right here where the stairs come off. My house right here, 770 feet above sea level. Okay? That property and any of those pictures you look at are astronomically filled. Did you show the picture of the town people cleaning out the catch basin halfway down the yard? That shows the person how much elevation they've added to the
They have the
property?
picture that shows the best of the difference of elevation between your property and his. But again, I can't prove that that's not the elevation that's on the plan.
It isn't.
I am not an engineer.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's why Tom asked for the elevations existing right now,
Yep,
okay?
but he has not been.
The only
he hasn't
problem with that
provided.
is the elevations have to be, he has to be able to finish the job.
He's been working on this job for 3 years. He's in that house without a occupancy permit since last December.
Yeah, that's not our department.
I get it, but this is what goes on. So I wanna show you something. This is the property after the town was given the easement, okay, to put the drainage pipe down. Oh, by the way, it hasn't been reconnected since he cut it off.
And he cut the town.
It has been arranged.
So that's what it looked like coming down the property before St. Germain filled in the land originally. This is what it looked like from St. Germain's property. I'm just gonna pass it around and look at the pictures of what Bonneville has right now. This is another view of it, Tom, from Ralph and Karen Doe's deck. I have water shedding from Sunset Drive, the hill that's over at lot 41, across the whole front of Bonneville's property, down the side driveway where the town had to come and raise the thing up because he's got 4 feet of gravel in my yard, a foot deep, you'll see that. This is what it looked like when St. Germain used to park the truck behind the house, between the wall.
I have to ask you, I sent an email to ask you a question.
So,
If
he-
the, just important question, just allegedly changing elevation, because we hasn't been proved, correct? Is it affecting your property in any way?
Yes, it is.
Okay, can
That's
you
why we
please?
came here.
Well, can you please tell the commission how it's affecting?
I just did. The water's shedding across the face of his property from Sunset Drive, all the way in front of his property. You can see the gravel that he's put in. That's how much it's filled up against my dog fence, 4 feet into my land. You can see it on the, over here against the, and this is where it comes across the front of the yard over to the dog fence.
Is the dog fence, is that your lot line, or is that?
No,
No,
it's
we
four
are 4
feet over.
feet that
4
he's
feet.
got all his fill into
So
our
that-
4
The
feet.
wooden fence that's there is yours?
That was cut out by St. Germain.
Years
and
ago,
many
that's
other
an old
things.
picture.
You can see right here where my grass used to be 4 feet beyond the fence that he's filled in.
So when you look
All
at
of these
our,
elevations, I mean,
when you look at our dog fence now, where the bottom pole is, it goes up this high worth of dirt covering into our fence, 4 feet into our property.
and if you look at the,
This picture doesn't reflect that.
no,
No, that's how it was
That's
before.
the original.
That's before.
That's
That's the
before.
original, yep.
Yeah.
this is St. Germain's property originally with the grass there. If you look at the picture that I gave Rose of the guy standing
The
on the
two-town,
cement
yeah.
pad that he put in, that's in front of the lake, in the lake, It shows the guy standing there. You can read the dirt line from that loom, and you can see the elevation change in it.
I'll pass the picture around, but I don't know, that's temporary.
So this is
I don't know what he means.
that's original.
Which
Count it. He's just cleaning it.
No,
to
the other
right.
side.
I don't know.
Yeah. Do you see where the decks are on either of those houses? I gave you a picture of how high this house is, looking at the white fence over there. They've raised the house 4 feet. If the elevations are pulled back to what's on his plan, if these are true elevations, because you can prove it by going over to the fence over at Stephanie's house, which was Ralph and Karen, so you come over to my side and you measure it, you'll have true elevations. I don't know if these are true, looking at it, the way it's been filled in.
But on top of the way that the elevation is and bringing water in through the side over to our dog pen, with him cutting the town pipe, the
That
brand new
has been
retaining,
addressed.
I hope
Yeah,
it's
but
gonna
it
be.
still hasn't been
Right,
fixed.
when the water's gonna start to run, if
Right.
we'd ever, our
It'll
brand new
undermine my
retaining
wall.
wall is gonna be
Yep.
gone.
Which it's,
So,
Why would you,
Concern.
why would you cut off a town's pipe? I don't understand.
we addressed that in our past last meeting. We had come to an agreement to have GP to go and, put the pipe back where it was.
so back to the elevations where the house is raised 4 feet. You can see in the picture that I provided to Rose, their deck is now 4 feet above the deck to the left of where you asked me if that house is. So if the elevation's pulled back to where it is in these plans, the 30-foot height off of that house doesn't cut it with the town bylaw for
He's
that
not looking down,
property.
he's not looking at it.
Everything, we've lived with this guy, we've asked him to remove all this gravel from our yard, he won't do it. I asked Nick when he came down, you see Nick in the hole, his guy's in the hole, how deep it is. He won't do it, all he does is make lies and says he's gonna do it.
Is this us or is this court?
Elevation, no, it's
Yeah,
us.
yeah. All right.
It's an approved plan, and it appears that, Jim, just a sec. It's an approved plan from our commission. He has a GP number to do the work, and the allegedly change of elevation, whatever the way the construction is going right now, is generating stormwater to run to an abutting property. So that's why he's here.
Is the plan, though, that we have, does it show that it's on his property and up whatever amount is on his?
So I would have to have an engineer to compare the present elevation to what is the approved plan. If the commission approved the plan with the elevations and it does depict what's on the field, then it is what it is.
They
But
have
it's
to
on
prove-
his
They have to
property.
prove that to us before we sign off at the end.
Right, but
At the interim, you
But
can't
ri-
be making, if the alleged issue is you're diverting rainwater onto someone else's property, and and it's part of a notice of intent. I don't know if that's what we get dragged in.
I mean,
So again, usually, yes, so usually until we had complaints of stormwater runoff once the construction is done, right? Oh, since the house has been built, I have water running to my property. We hear that all the time. So this time, we're hearing the complaint during the construction. So I think that's the reason why the commission voted to, let's look at the problem right now before it's completed, and then now we have a stormwater issue, which according to our stormwater bylaws, you're not allowed to divert water into a abutting property. So
have you
they,
been out there to see?
I have seen exactly what you're seeing on pictures, but again, I'm not an engineer to verify if the elevation there is what was approved on the plans. So that's why I haven't taken any action. So, once we discussed that during the last meeting, the commission felt, like, since it's causing an issue to the abutting property, maybe the safest thing to do right now is just have an engineer verify that the elevation on the site right now is exactly what was approved on the plan, and if it was, then he will continue. If he was not, then I guess the commission will meet again and make a decision whether or not it will continue like that or you will amend the plan.
Can we put a time frame on him as finishing the project?
No. The order
3 years.
condition
No,
can
but
be,
sorry, McClure, if he says, okay, until he finishes the project, this is what I'm assuming we're thinking, until he finishes the project, you gotta take some mitigation measures so you don't keep diverting land from one property onto
Well,
another.
let's have him put some wattles down the driveway so it doesn't wash onto Mr. St. Germain's land.
but what is gonna happen when the construction is done? He's gonna have waters there forever?
No, when he's done, he's supposed to meet these elevations.
But
According to the
apparently,
engineer, these elevations will do the work, will do the trick.
But are these
but we don't
elevations?
know if the
know.
elevation there right now is exactly what's on the plan. That's why
They have an issue.
they have an issue.
But he has to have these elevations when he's done. So if he put up something to divert the water during construction, I'm saying when it's done, it has to meet this.
But he's
Then the
elevated.
waters can come
It's
out.
affecting their property now.
Now,
That's what I'm saying, put the wattles up.
He has a
But-
before and after plan with the same elevations for the new house, the new concrete slab, where the existing slab on the St. Germain property is at the same elevation per his plan. And it's not. You can see every bit of that property has been filled, including behind the house.
So what you're saying, these elevations are correct on this plan?
What I'm saying is, either of these, the plans that he produced back in 18, April of 18, they're saying the grade over at my property is 769. Okay? And on this plan where he's putting the new house, he's saying it's 769. He's saying it's 765 over at the corner where I showed the concrete wall sticking out in the lake. I don't know how many feet it is, because I didn't measure it. Did you see those pictures? Did any of the board see those pictures?
just passing around now.
Okay, that isn't what the picture of the lake looks like. I also gave you a picture of what the lake looked like before he cut the pipe
Let's
off.
continue on the on the elevation.
So you look at the elevation and the land, you can see the loom from the original picture that I gave of his property with the fence post showing what it was. You can see the shape of the land. It's now gone from convex, concave, which it was originally, to convex out into the lake. It never was that.
But does his
Every-
plan show that that's what he was going to do?
What the plan shows is what he falsely submitted to you people from his deed that I gave you that shows his property lines from what was existing. St. Germain was supposed to remove all of that, those rocks
Oh, let's-
in one of the
let's-
pictures.
Let's stay on the elevation, let's.
So
focus
the
on
elevation is my concern. If you want to gift somebody extended property that's actually town property, then he needs to pay tax on that extended property.
No, let's talk about the
But the
elevation.
elevation is my issue with the water issue we have with him coming off of there. That he refuses to take the gravel and the fill that he's filled into my 4 foot long, that 160
But we gotta make a
foot
decision
property
tonight.
line. And then it slopes the rest of the way. So when it rains and it floods, beyond what comes out of the culvert pipe, which is a whole other easement issue we'll be dealing with shortly with the town, we have, a guy cuts it off and nothing happens. And he comes in here and makes false statements all the time.
Can I see that picture? Can I just pass this around? Do you mind? No. So, yeah.
So why don't you go make copies of those and give me my original
Oh, he
pictures
has it.
back? You can have all my handouts for your information.
He has kind of that, so just so I can, let me go around the other way, just a second, please. I think. So, yeah, this is right now, right? Look at before. Mitch, can I show you this? So this was the land before. This is Chambers property, this is Bonneville's property, do you see the,
Yeah.
this is right now. With the, additional fill. So clearly, it's not showing all the way on the top, but what he's trying to explain, he elevated from the beginning, and that's where the water runs from the road. So that's his complaints of the water is running to his property.
So this is the grade right here, huh?
He's
Where the
saying that,
water ran
no,
before.
the grade is.
This is the old grade here, Chambers grade. So this is built up the way it's here. Correct?
You're gonna have to ask him, because here on this picture doesn't show the
It
fence.
doesn't show that. No,
Yeah.
no. And those bushes there aren't these bushes.
No,
So that's new, fairly new.
no, this is actually pretty old. When was this picture from?
Should be the date of the photo.
Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
I'd have to look at it.
Anyways,
Is that a current picture, or?
Well, it's from the last, let me see, when did I send it to you?
When was the excavation going on?
That was May.
from me.
That was from May,
2024.
24, yeah.
With all that new loom in there and
Make sure you're looking at the right spot,
the
right?
silt fence?
That's not, that's Mr. Chambers' front yard.
Yeah.
So it's, I was pointing out next to it what the waterfront looked like. This is Bonneville's
Okay,
waterfront.
on Chambers property is to the right there.
Yes, where the new stone is and the silt fence,
Now,
that's
was-
his new wall.
And we permitted that.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
all
yeah.
done, yeah, no,
It's on
no,
the
no,
plan, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know, it's a he say, she say.
Well, if McClure's, is McClure your engineer?
No, Bonneville.
Is Bonneville engineer? He should be able to
Very easily.
Yep.
see the elevations,
And go and confirm it, didn't it, yeah.
and if it, obviously,
Has Chris said anything about it? No?
He has to be hired to do so. He cannot just walk in and speak on his behalf, so.
Well, can we send the gentleman a notice that he needs to
We
supply us
already
with?
did.
Yeah,
That's what the commission decided. All
what
what
we
the
did last
commission
meeting.
Yeah.
voted last meeting was to
Okay.
please
Well, that might-
provide
so
an
we-
information that shows that the current elevation, it's what was approved on the plan. It is not a hard thing to do if we were
all right,
engineers.
why don't we send him another letter stating that we need that before any more
And-
stuff can be done?
right, and then if, to the earlier point he made, if he's saying, I'm gonna need time to finish, and it's gonna be, right, when he's done elevations, we say, okay, great, in the interim, what are you doing to address changing the water? That should be added too.
Okay,
Because what I don't wanna get into is like, okay, I'm gonna tear the dirt down, but now I can't finish my project. And it's just gonna be left as is, and then we get a rainstorm and all washes into the lake, then defeats the whole purpose.
so where's the water running from? Chambers, from the top
give
of?
up.
from
Pardon?
The water runoff starts near the road.
The
Sunset,
water runoff starts over the other side of Bonneville's property, coming down the hill from Sunset Drive. And it crosses over the whole front of Bonneville's property where it used to be a stone wall at St. Germain's. He's filled in all that land. You cannot see that white fence on that property line anymore. It's an angle, it sheds over in front of Bonneville's property. It comes down that driveway, which sheds right over to where the town guys are standing, where they had to raise the catch inlet so they could easily find it after he's buried 4 feet into my land, a foot and a half of gravel, tapered over to his house. So all that water sheds into our property before it hits the lake.
It's where the chain link fence
There's a hill
is.
here.
It's down through here.
Sunset goes up, so the water comes down Sunset Hill.
769.
And it says it enters, this is St. Germain's, right, but it must enter the property up here and cross over and then come down that fence. So see
So
the fence?
why would the change of elevation matter?
And the plan is done.
Because it's shedding it on this
Set it
side.
coming in, instead of setting it across the whole
Well,
yard,
that's,
and
can't see, right.
converting it onto that.
So, I'm assuming, coming down here where that boat is, right? This is Chambers' house. And then coming down, you can't see the fence, but he's got the, arborvitae's, so the fence is gonna be up here more.
So if this was lower, what would be the difference?
I haven't seen, I'm not a hydro
I don't know,
engineer,
maybe
but
change
it might,
direction?
you change the
765
absorption of the
here,
water throughout the whole lot versus channels.
765 here.
but I'm an engineer, that's where someone like
Yeah.
Claire would have to.
Yeah.
Is this a stormwater issue as well?
Yeah,
So the main issue is that lot line where you're changing fences.
No, it's from the
No.
top.
4 feet beyond that fence is the lot line.
4 feet
And
beyond
I
the
gave,
all right?
It's the microphone, it's probably when you
Ron-
move.
It's that one, they're
Ron
trying to,
had the debate.
Oh, it's the
They're
phone,
I'm
yeah.
trying to fill it, to fix it.
in the original packets I gave you of the lot line plans where survey was done and the court case was lost, and that's why the property line got moved 4 feet to the left into my property. Extended his waterfront 90 to 94 feet. And that's where the pipe comes through out into land that I can't give an
Yeah, I
easement
like
to.
this shoe.
And that's where he cut the pipe off down at the lake.
But it's right at our retaining wall, and it's gonna undermine the retaining wall.
Not to mention the water that comes down Sunset across the front, around his house, down the slope driveway that sloped over right 4 feet to my fence into our land. And he refuses to remove that land, that overburden that I showed in the pictures. You see the grass, it's all gravel now.
It does look like he's built his side up more than what it was.
You can read from the
But we,
lake, you
right,
can read
but we don't know
the
if that was
and the 4
approved.
feet of overburden.
We should have him at least get us the grades on that line. That
Right.
seems to be the
Yeah.
problem line.
Yeah.
It's the whole
is what we
property is
asked
the
for.
problem line.
That's
Well,
what, that was,
Let's stop the water from running onto your property first.
Yes.
right.
And
so-
what about him
and
extending the land into the lake?
Well, that's a whole different issue.
Well, there you go, I brought it up. You've got the pictures, you should do something about it. I gave the land back that we found when I put the new wall up. Now I can show you pictures of it. There was 2 walls.
Somebody's gotta prove that to us. We just can't go onto his land and say, oh, you,
I get it, trust me. We understand well. Can I get my copies of my pictures back?
Yeah. Anybody else got pictures?
That one is mine, the top one, Tom.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. All right,
Thank you.
all right,
So
guys.
So the
this
motion
is the
from the
grade
last,
we gotta
thank you,
have established.
Yeah.
Looks like it's higher than-
Yes.
Let's get his in the plan.
thank you.
Is it in the plan though?
No, it's not in the plan. The grade in the plan is, matches this grade here.
Oh, all right.
So the water is coming from the road up where the wall used to be.
Coming down his gravel driveway and dropping off into
Right,
his property.
so,
So let's have that whole lot line,
well, I won't tell the engineer what to do.
no,
But-
no,
But
but
is it tell him that he has
tell
to
Mr.
fix it?
Capon, or whatever his name is,
Yeah, just,
that he has to have that done.
so the motion remains that was made last meeting,
I
so
mean,
we don't
he
need to
doesn't
make
have
any
to
other
shoot the
motion.
grade on the whole lot. That,
No, just that
one
area,
section.
right, and that's where the complaint's coming from,
And
so.
how far into the area? Just down the line, is it gonna prove anything?
No, the engineer, I'm not telling an engineer how to survey, so he's gonna look at the elevation, what is currently there from the road towards down to your
he's
property.
gonna have to cut it back towards his house. That's,
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect.
So the motion remains, so we don't have to make a motion. Okay,
Thank you.
I do have one quick question. How long is it gonna be before he provides this information?
does the commission?
now you're asking for a lot.
Well, I mean, it's only been 3 years we've been dealing with this guy over this stuff, so
We'll
I'm just
stay-
asking a legitimate question. Does he
We'll
have a
stay on it.
2-week timeframe to get an engineer in there, 3 weeks?
You want it by the next meeting?
What's it gonna be? I mean, you know.
We usually
We
request,
we can't answer that question because we're not gonna be the one that's paying for the engineer.
So he can stroke that out as long as he
Well,
wants.
I don't think
Wait,
that,
wait.
yeah.
We
We'll give,
usually-
I think, a certain amount of time.
we usually determine the time.
Yeah, okay.
So
what-
what is it, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 week?
That's all I'm asking.
Well, the
If he
weather's.
had it done in 2 weeks.
The weather's getting worse, so 2 weeks, I think,
I
he
think
should
that's
get it
fair.
straightened away.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Because it
Before.
also
Yeah.
depends on the engineer's schedule too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I get it. I'm not twisting the knife on it. If the guy has to wait another week because of time, I get it, but.
You're just sticking the knife in? You're not twisting?
No, at this point, we've had the knife stuck in us so long here, it's not funny. Have a nice day, y'all.
Good night.
Happy New Year.
Good night, see you later. We all set, I'm
So
gonna
we
need
have
a
to make a
motion to
time, she's waiting
adjourn?
for.
Motion to adjourn.
Hang on. So are we doing 2 weeks?
Yes, that's what we said.
Do we
You
need
were
to make a
gonna play
motion?
cards early. Yeah, I thought I was, yeah.
No?
And I congratulate
I guess it would be
Tom for breaking
nice,
the
make a
record.
motion
10 past
to
8.
request the information to be
2 weeks.
submitted up to 2 weeks.
I need a motion,
Motion for 2 weeks.
okay, second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Thank you.
Guys have it, do we have any other business?
No,
I need a motion to
adjourn.
adjourn,
Motion to adjourn.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Good night.
Good night.
And I take back.